welcome back to my channel. My name is Addie and today we are doing another reading vlog, and today's reading vlog is a little different because I'm going to start a new series on my channel based on series and finishing series that I start, because I am really bad about starting series and then neglecting to finish them. It's kind of a problem. So today's series that we are going to finish is the Poppy War series. I started and vlogged the Poppy War back in January and I absolutely loved it. I loved the Poppy War and I don't know why I just haven't picked up the Dragon Republic since, and I'm starting to like kind of lose the plot. I don't remember anything. I need to remember it and I need to get back on this because I just really like the series and I'd like to finish it, and I want to read other R.F. Kuang books, but something about me is I refuse to buy another R.F. Kuang book until I finish the series I'm already in. I just gotta control the book buying like that. So I'm hoping this series will actually keep me and hold me accountable for finishing my series, because a big goal for myself this year, because I started the year in the middle of like 6 or 7 series and I want to be like down to 0 by the end of the year. So I'm trying not to start too many series. I'm just trying to plug and chug away, and I'm not doing so great at that goal. Am I in super mood for a fantasy right now? Not really. It's the middle of summer, but I do love a fantasy read, so we're gonna do it anyway. And most series I feel like are fantasy. And then I don't have the third one, but we will go out and buy the third one. I started this a little bit. I'm on page 12, so I just had to make sure this is what I wanted to do right now, and I made the decision that it is what I want to do right now. Also, she has another book coming out, like Catabasis I think is what it's called, and I would really like to read that when it comes out. So gotta finish the Poppy War first per my rules. And as you can tell, I am in a different setup right now. I am back at my parents' house for the summer, and I can't say that I love the setup here. I really don't love it. There's no good spots for filming, but that's quite alright. We're gonna go with it anyway. But I do like reading in my backyard, and I like being outside a lot to read, and there's a lot of ample opportunities to do that here. So I'm gonna read a little bit of the Dragon Republic today, give you guys an update when I get a little bit further in. Then I'll give you an update a little bit later on how I'm feeling, how I'm remembering the series, and how I'm liking where it's going, and I will chat with you guys in a little bit. When I tell you it has been the craziest 24 hours of my life, it's been the craziest 24 hours of my life. I pulled myself together now, but it's been a hard 24 hours. I think the easiest way to not tell you, but to show you, my iPad just like snapped in half. I just took it out of my bag and that's what it was. I don't know how the hell it happened, but I was distraught about it. I've had that iPad for like almost coming on 4 years now. It was probably time for a new one, but like it was working fine, and like I didn't want to spend the money to replace it because I need it for school, I need it for editing. Like I use my iPad every single day, and I was so frustrated. But I got one yesterday. I went and I got it replaced yesterday, but was not happy about that in the slightest. But I got my new iPad, so I haven't got as much reading as I otherwise would have liked to, because I was like having like a mental breakdown about my iPad breaking, which is so trivial and like shouldn't be tweaking so much about it, but like I just really didn't want to spend that money. So on brighter news, I went book shopping today a little bit because it was new release Tuesday. I was like, okay, I'm already at the Apple store like trying to get this iPad set up. Let's make myself feel a little better while I'm waiting for the Genius Bar. I go into Barnes because I was like, you know what, I'll go get the third book of the Poppy War right now. And I walk in And you know what released was the special edition of the Dragon Republic. I, again, did not need to spend, I had points on my Barnes & Noble membership, so I had money saved up there, so I pretty much spent it with that. The reason I bought a second copy of the Dragon Republic, usually I'm not like big on like buying multiple copies of things. That's not, I never really care too much about like getting a special edition of a book. However, I got for Christmas the first special edition of the Poppy War, and I didn't know that they were doing it for the rest of the series. They were just like scattering the release. I guess I should have assumed, but like I just didn't know. I almost rated this book 5 stars, and part of the reason was I felt like this special edition enhanced the reading experience so much. Like usually special editions, like I'm like, oh, they just look prettier. Like it doesn't really change how I feel about the book. However, this one, it has the coolest illustrations that associate with like scenes in the book, and it just has the most beautiful drawings, and the sprayed edges are just breathtaking. I just wanted to have that same spectacular reading experience while reading the Dragon Republic. I really do love this series, and I've been excited like for when I get out of college and like have like my big bookshelves. Like I can display this. Now I can display the whole series, and it is a series that I love. I know I'm going to love the series. I'm loved the first one. I'm loving the second one so far. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just do that. However, that did put a dent in my plans, because now that I know that they're doing special releases for this whole series that are going to match, I didn't want to buy the third book because I want all my books to match, and I don't want to like, I'm not going to double buy again because that's just being stupid. So I'm going to read the Dragon Republic, and I'm going to get my fabulous reading experience, which I'm very excited about, and I'm going to finish another series that I've been trying to get done. It's not technically like a series, it's interconnected standalone romance. It is, I can't get enough. I was going in there to buy this today anyway. I just finished This Could Be Us, and I loved it, and I loved Before I Let Go. So I've been adoring this series, and this is the last one to complete the trilogy. So I'm very, very ecstatic to get to this. So I will be reading this in this vlog in lieu of the last Poppy War, but they're both purple, so I feel like it kind of counts. I'm very excited to get into this after I read the Dragon Republic, so at least I will be making a dent in the Poppy War series, and I have plans to finish it. I thought I was going to finish it in this video, but that's quite alright. The idea of doing it honestly was starting to overwhelm me because these are like long books, and I'm very happy that I'm going to get all my books to match. I regret nothing with this purchase. I am so excited. Oh my gosh, like the waves, oh, it's so beautiful. The illustrations here, like this is just a copy. If you love R.F. Kuang, or if you love the Poppy War series, I feel like these special editions are just worth having. So last night I got to page 64. I'm on chapter 5 right now, so I'm not too far in, don't have a ton of thoughts, but I do appreciate how she kind of re-explains some things, re-explains some characters, re-explains the plot a little bit, because I was a little lost. I can't lie. I was like, I haven't read this since January. So I do appreciate that she catches us up a little bit, so I feel like a little bit more on track now. I'm back into Rin, our main character. Her headspace is just a lot. Like being in her head is just, it's a lot. There's a lot going on up there for reasons that are spoilers. It's not just her in her head, that's all I'll say, and that's makes her act kind of diabolically annoying. She drives me nuts, but like her character is so incredibly flawed. I get why, and I'm hoping to see like some progression in her character. Like I feel like it's leading up to have some character development. Her circumstances up to this point, I get it. I'm annoyed by it, but I get it. R.F. Kuang gets really, really into the nitty-gritty of politics, and the politics of war specifically. And it is a fantasy world, but I know she gets like real life inspiration from other wars that have happened. And she, like, this is not like a little romantasy, like, oh, fun little fantasy. No, like, this is a dark read. It is so incredibly dark. Like the war crimes that you read about in this are some, like, I had to take a break while reading the Poppy War because it was so hard to hear. So like I don't want to recommend this without you knowing that, but I do love this series and I happen to find it really interesting. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying this so far. I'm really excited to read more tonight with getting my illustrations back, because I will say, like, I was kind of missing it reading the first 5 chapters. I was like, oh, it'd be great with an illustration like in the first book that I had. So I'm very happy I went into Barnes and happened to see this today. Best use of my money? No. Do I regret it? Also no. So I think tonight I might go on a little walk, get a little bit more reading in. I've been very much enjoying going outside. This year there's no cicada invasion like there was last year, so I can actually read outside like I prefer. This year there's a heat wave though, so I can never really catch a break. So that's why I'm waiting for more nighttime, like dusk, to take my walk and read. So hopefully get a little bit further in this, and I just wanted to update you guys and let you know how I'm feeling, the update on the book and which books I will be reading in this vlog. I just needed to vent about my iPad because I was so upset. But they're doing a promotion right now at Apple. If you buy, I don't know, they're doing like a student promotion. So I got a free pair of AirPods. And mine just happened to break a few months ago because of like, they were too old. Like they were like 7 years old. They just broke. And I haven't replaced them because I just didn't want to spend the money. But now I don't have to. So silver lining. So I can use my new AirPods, go on a walk. It's going to be great. Trying to get in a better mood than I have been. And I will update you guys when I actually have made real substantial progress in the Dragon Republic. So I have made some good progress in the Dragon Republic. I am currently on page 47. I am on chapter 9, so I've made good progress. In her writing, it's not quick. Like, I read it pretty slowly, but like it keeps me flipping the pages. It's just slow, it's movement, but it's slow movement. But I absolutely love her writing, and like the further I get into this book, I'm being reminded why I love the Poppy War so much. The beginning of this book is definitely slow. I was like I was having a lot of trouble getting into it and getting like back into the world, into the story, especially with the fantasy. In the middle of like a reading slump, I was struggling, but now I'm much more into it. We're kind of getting back to like the roots of like what I love about the Poppy War series. Like Ren is starting to train. Something happened where she's starting to kind of get her spark back a little bit and seeing like the Ren that I really loved from the beginning of the Poppy War. Sometimes I forget too that like she really is like just like a kid. Like she's like 14 or 15 in this. Like she's a young girl like in the middle of a war. So are her decisions great? No. She's also a child going through like atrocious war crimes. Also, there's like some magical elements going on in her head that aren't creating the best mental headspace for my girl right now. So I totally understand her. She just frustrates me, but I love her at the same time. I also think since she is such a powerful weapon that a lot of like grown adults use her as a pawn, and we're kind of seeing that kind of happen now, and it's so frustrating to watch because like everyone is always so concerned about like what she can do for them and not how they can help her. Like any help that she gets is literally just their own like personal gain. I do really like the one character that has just come back from the first book, and I was missing him, and he is back now, and I feel like it's making the story a lot more enjoyable in general just to have some of the characters that I love from the first one back. I will say though, there is one group that she's a part of. I don't want to like give spoilers, it's so hard because it's the second book, but there's one group that she's a part of I do feel like has her best interest in heart. But it's so funny because like they are so sick of her bullshit. They are so over her. It's kind of this group of like people like her that she got placed with during the first book. So those I feel like are her people, and I've really like kind of getting to see their dynamics again because they are so sick of her bullshit. They are so done with her. It's a funny group dynamic. But right now I'm kind of getting back into it. We are getting into the plot a little bit more, get into the nitty-gritty of her plans. So I'm very much more enjoying this than I was yesterday. I also just think this edition just gives me such a good reading experience. I'm having the best time. So, and I've been really liking reading outside. Last night I didn't get to go on my walk. I don't know, there's a really creepy guy at the park I was gonna go to, and I like kind of got freaked out, and he kept trying to like approach me, and I was like, you know what, this is not happening for me tonight. So I went back home, and then Love Island was on, so I had to go do that. Also, if y'all have any opinions on Love Island, I would love to be talking about Love Island. I love Love Island. It's so good. And tonight's Wednesday, and I'm really missing my episode right now. you know, it's more reading time and I need to hit the books. Yeah, that's really the whole update I have for you right now. I'm definitely feeling more into it at the moment. I'm definitely gonna read some more tonight, and then I will let you guys know how I'm feeling a little bit more tomorrow. He is so fascinated by the camera. He keeps just like looking up. He does not know what to do with the sounds. Oh, I love little Fergie man. He's such a curious fella. Ah, he's like reaching for it. Anyway, so I have a bit of an update. Our favorite thing to call him is Dennis the Menace because genuinely, he's just a menace. Like, he's chewing the stand to the camera right now. Aurora is just sitting in her chair, so demure, so mindful that we have things going on here. My man Fergie does not get that memo. I feel bad, I had to kick them both out. Aurora did not like him climbing the camera stand. Back to talking about books. I do have an update of the Dragon Republic. On page 303, I made a pretty hefty dent yesterday. I am loving this book, and I'm again so happy I got this special edition because it is just, I'm eating it up. Sometimes I was worried that this would catch a case of second book in the series syndrome, where it's a whole lot of nothing going on until like building up to the third book, but I should have known R.F. Kuang would never do me like that. This book is action-packed. It's constantly thing after thing, and then it's just so unexpected. And it's kind of a breath of fresh air because like sometimes I'll be reading a fantasy and some characters, I don't really feel that excited when something is going down or a battle is happening because I'm like, well, it's like a main character or it's a pretty significant side character, like nothing's gonna happen. Or it's like the middle, it's like we're not even to the middle of the book yet and like there's no way there's gonna be any major damage going on. However, that does not happen. She is not afraid to kill off anyone. She's not afraid to injure someone in the most heinous, disgusting ways possible. It's like Game of Thrones up in here. Like, no character is safe. I really love that in a fantasy because I feel like I literally have no idea what's about to happen next. Also, I know in my last update I said that Rin was like 14 in this book. I low-key forgot that this takes place like 5 years after the beginning of the last book. Like, I forget like how fast-paced these like and how long of a span these books take place. She's probably like late teens, 20 now. Just so you guys know, I know that I'm actually reading this book and I know what I'm talking about. I just kind of get confused sometimes with the timeline because like I also really like her pacing. Like, I feel like we don't spend years upon years upon years in like one battle or like one event. Like, things are constantly moving. Like, this is a long war we're talking about. It's constant, like ever flowing, and I like that a lot. The pacing is really well done. And I'm also, right now, what I'm really liking about this book is there's so many parallels between like Eastern and Western culture. Like, that right now, one of their allies, they keep referring to them as like the Western people, and they definitely like they have the same characteristics as just like white Europeans pretty much. It's really interesting to, and then like also there's a lot of like Eastern culture and folklore kind of embedded within the book, and Western folklore like embedded in the book, and it's really interesting to see the parallels between like a fantasy world and the real world. And I really like, because like I feel like we always get like Western culture just like living in living in like America, very always consuming like Western culture. It's very refreshing to have a book from another perspective. It's also interesting to see xenophobia from like all sides, like everyone just kind of looking down on other cultures, and definite culture clashes, religion clashes that also are at work here, which is very interesting. But yeah, so I'm really liking that kind of perspective that I don't get with a lot of fantasy reads. I just love when fantasy reads aren't just like I don't know, like your fun romantasy is always like fun, like, you know, like always have a good time while reading it, like a fourth wing kind of thing. But I particularly love when fantasies have commentary on like real world issues, because like I know she got inspiration from this book from like a war that happened in the real world. I really like when I can draw parallels like that, and it's like kind of a commentary on society and real life, and I feel like when fantasies do that, it's just so good. In today's world, I feel like we could all do for doing some critical thinking in our reading and doing some reading that like really makes us think about the world that we're living in, even if it's through a very entertaining and interesting fantasy. So I just am really loving this series. I'm kind of sad that like I committed myself to these special editions because I have to wait for the last Poppy War to come out, and I don't even know when that is. I'm gonna have to look that up. overall, I'm very much enjoying this. I don't think I'm gonna be able to read that much this weekend, only because it's 4th of July weekend, and it happens to be my anniversary weekend. My boyfriend's gonna be here, and we're gonna be spending some time together, so there's not gonna be a whole lot of time for reading this weekend. Also, happy 4th of July if you celebrate. I'm gonna have to take a little bit of a pause on this, but I'm hoping to get some good reading done, hopefully Sunday night when I come back, and I'm just really enjoying this book, and I am very excited to see where it continues to go from here. And I will update you guys when I have formed some further thoughts on the Dragon Republic. Finished the Dragon Republic, and I've got to say it was phenomenal. The ending really just got me, and I really wish that I had the third one in my hands right now. Unfortunately, I do not, and I am going to have to wait until this edition comes out because I'm very committed to the bit of having these editions now. It will absolutely be worth the wait because this left me on the biggest cliffhanger, and I was definitely correct in saying that, like, throughout this book, like, Rin has her issues. She's just very unlikable, to be honest, but I think throughout this book is when I really started becoming on, like, Team Rin, because she is on the path to growth. She's not fully there yet, but I did like seeing her path throughout this book, and by the end I am really loving her. And my favorite character in the entire world, Kate, is just still very much running strong as a favorite. He is the sweetest man, and I've loved seeing him throughout this book. I'm really glad that he got to re-emerge a bit. I definitely feel plot-wise this one was definitely slower than the Poppy War with the first kind of half, but once I got to the halfway mark, it definitely built up, and it was just like slow in the sense that it was just world building and it was setting up what the stakes were for the second half of the book, and I feel like that setup was absolutely needed. So I didn't not enjoy the first half, but the second half had me so gripped, was flipping page after page after page. I just couldn't stop reading. I am so happy I sprung for this edition. I loved getting all the pictures. It just added so much to the story. Character-wise, at the end, there was the biggest plot twist of one of the characters, and I was so in shock, and I'm like, oh my god, I need the third one now. Like, that's kind of what it was, just like this huge twist, and I was like, This is insane. I was not expecting that throughout the entire book, and I just love how intricate the details are from R.F. Kuang in the Poppy War series, like how detailed she is on like the nuances of war, and how there's not like a good guy or a bad guy, it's just like war, it all is bad. It really gets into like the nitty-gritty intricacies of that, and I feel like it was so well done. I really have no complaints. I don't know, this is either a 4.5 or a 5. I'm definitely leaning towards a 5-star because like the ending just like left me so in awe. Her writing is just so polished, her world building is just so meticulous, and it's so well researched, it's so well thought out. It's phenomenal. I love the way she guides you through a story. Check trigger warnings, but this series is one that I absolutely recommend if you want to get kind of deeper into the fantasy genre. So the next book of the reading vlog that I am going to read is the one we talked about, Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. I'm very, very excited to complete this trilogy. I think a romance right now will be exactly what I need. I love Kennedy Ryan because she always goes so much deeper than a romance. Like it's almost women's fiction. The last book I read, This Could Be Us, it really was almost women's fiction. This one, I can feel that it will be. Again, this one follows Hendrix, and Hendrix is the friend in the friend group who is just kind of that girl. She's the only one who's single without any kids, but she's very career driven. She's just always has it together. Like she's like the epitome of a Pinterest board. So as she's achieving her goals, chasing her dreams, she is caring for an aging parent. So between her job and caring for her parent, she has no time for like a love life. However, she finds one man who can keep up with her, and the man's name is Maverick Bell. He is a tech mogul. I don't believe we've seen him in any other books. He is the first man to make her feel seen and desired, and she's so attracted to him. But for some reason, he is off limits. I'm not sure why he's off limits. We'll see if she gives in to him chasing her, and I'm very, very excited for Hendrix's story. She has been very intriguing to me throughout the entire trilogy, and I'm very, very excited to see how her story plays out. I absolutely love Kennedy Ryan's writing, so I'm sure I'm going to love this one as much as I loved the other ones. I'm pretty sure this is the last one, so I'm definitely going to savor it. I feel like Abby Jimenez on the front says it best. She says, Kennedy Ryan is my go-to for deep, emotional, and sensual storytelling, and I feel like that is so wildly accurate. So I'm very, very excited to get to this book. This kind of brings me back to like my old YouTube days, like when I was just starting this channel. My very first reading vlog, I read the first one in this series. I feel like it's very nostalgic. I'm happy that I'm finishing it in a reading vlog as well. So today I have got to get some homework done, but tonight I don't have Love Island, so I am free as a little bird. I'm definitely going to begin this book tonight, and I think I'm going tomorrow. I would absolutely love, there's a new stationery store in town. I would love to go to the stationery store and get some stuff for my July spread, as well as I'm thinking of doing a spread for this video for Veronica Speedwell, which is a series I finished a couple months ago. I feel like in honor of this video with finishing series, we should do a finishing series spread, and I've been wanting to do a Veronica Speedwell series spread for a while in my book journal, so I'm thinking we could do that together. So that is the plan for the rest of the vlog, and I will update you guys when I get a little further in this and we can go to the stationery store together. I am so excited. There has not been a stationery store near me for like my whole life. Like they've never had one locally, and I enjoyed it so much when I was in Madison for school, but I'm just so excited that when I'm home I can have a stationery store for all my book journaling needs. So I thought I would do a little bit of a haul for you guys because I got a lot. They had the cutest sticker selection. So for this first sticker set, I got these little like bookish antique ones. Also, the brand is Sticky, I think. So if you are interested, I think they have a website you can order off of. But these are so cute. I'm definitely gonna check out the website and see if there are any more that weren't in store, because I'm obsessed with them. These are like book related and like antique related. There's like an antique book one and like antique mall. It's just so cute. That would have been really good for like my Divine Rivals set. This one I loved because it just like has like the cutest little like cozy stickers. I could totally see myself using the coffees and the apples. Oh my gosh, look at these little porcupines up there. I'm obsessed with those. So these will be good for like a monthly spread. These, I don't know what I'm gonna use for these. They look like stamps just called by name. I just thought they were so adorable. These I don't have any plans for them currently, but I do feel like for a very specific fantasy book, these will be perfect. If you have any recs for fantasy books that fit this vibe, that would be lovely. Oh my gosh, wait, I still have to do the Strange the Dreamer spread. Maybe I'll do a Strange the Dreamer spread and use these because these would be phenomenal. And then these are just giving like whimsical fairy, and I love it. I don't know what I will use them for, but some fantasy book. And then these, I think these are stamps. Yeah, they're stamp numbers. So I feel like that will be good for like dates maybe. That would be great. Or like if there's a significant number in a book, that'll be lovely. So those are the stickers that I got. Oh, I got another sticker set, but I kind of already used this in my Veronica spread that you will see in the next clip, but I want to show you the haul before I showed you me using them. I could not resist digging into these. These are just like gothic bookish themed stickers. They're so cute. And then these I was super excited about. It's like wax seals that like come pre-made. I love adding wax seals to my journal, but I hate making them. And I have wax and I have the seal. I just never do it because it's like, I don't know why, I just don't like doing it. But these come pre-made, so all my wax sealing needs are already taken care of. And then I also got, I wasn't really sure what this was. It like intrigued me. It's like a letter press. So if anyone knows how I'm specifically supposed to use these, that would be lovely. But I thought like the detailing here was just really nice. Oh, they're falling out. I feel like these will be good for like frames and like pretty lettering. I just really liked these. And I'm like, I'm sure I will find some kind of use for them eventually. This was everything I got at the stationery store. I was so excited. It was so cute, and I'm definitely going to be popping my head in there quite a bit. You guys are gonna get a lot more stationery hauls from me. The next thing I wanted to update you guys on is my progress in Can't Get Enough. I am currently on page 162. I'm on chapter 19. I am adoring this book. I love it so much. This might be my favorite in the Skyland series. I don't know, I've rated the first one 5 stars and it was phenomenal. The second one was like 4.5. And I feel like what I like about this one is that the romance is definitely like picking up. I feel the tension a little bit more. Like in the second one, it took a while for like, I wanted to see more of the love interest early on. And I feel like I'm seeing a lot of Maverick, which I'm really enjoying. And I did figure out why it's forbidden, and it's definitely forbidden. Like it doesn't say it in the back, so I don't want to like say it to you guys in case you don't want that spoiler, but you find out in like the first chapter. I'll just say the simplest way I can put it, she works closely with his ex. It is so messy. There's this part where the ex was like, she like really bugged me, and I was like, actually I want you to take her man. I don't care. I really don't, because Hendrix was working with Maverick on something, and she reached out to his ex and was like, hey, like I'm gonna be working with him on this, but I didn't want you to get any like the wrong idea, you know, like trying to be respectful. And his ex like laughed and was like, oh, like haha, that's hilarious, you're not his type. And it was just like rude, and I'm like, that rubbed me the wrong way. Now I don't like you. I'm loving their attention though. I feel like he is the sweetest guy. Like he just shows that he cares in like the most thoughtful ways. She's a caretaker for her mom who has Alzheimer's disease, and he just like sent her links to support groups for other caretakers, and it was just so thoughtful. And then the next time he saw her, he was like, have you seen this? And she's like, oh, I haven't had a chance to look at them, like I'm so sorry. And he's like, well, I didn't send them to you like to give you some like another task to do. It's just like for when you need them. And I was like, that is so just like thoughtful and kind. And he just like knows what she needs. Like he's very intuitive, and I really like that. He's also like almost a billionaire, and I really like him for that. My only complaint so far is they're talking a lot about like buying this basketball team and like the logistics into that, and I'm like, I don't care. However, the romance is so good. Also, I didn't realize there's like an illustration right in front, and y'all know me, I love when books have illustrations, so that was a nice like visual that I enjoyed. I always enjoy with Kennedy Ryan's books how she includes like another plot, and for her it's caretaking for her mother, and it's like has that elements of women's fiction in it, which I love. I also love seeing in the series Hendrik's story because she is the only one who doesn't have kids, so, or a family, so it's interesting to like get that perspective from her and get more insights into her life, because like in the other books, like obviously the main characters were so like wrapped up in their families and what they've got going on, so like we didn't, but so she was kind of like a mystery, like what she was going through like behind the scenes, so it's really nice to get an insight into that. And I really like Hendrix as a main character because she doesn't have kids and because she doesn't have a partner relationship, like doesn't mean like she doesn't have love in her life. She shows that through how much she cares about her friendships. Like you really get to see in, like, you know from the other books how much she loves and cares about her friends, but like you really see the extent of how much she cares and loves about her friends and how much she just like cares about others in this book. And I just feel like she's a very caring and loving individual, and I really like how it shows that like you don't need a kids or you don't need a husband to have love in your life and to care so deeply about others. So I really enjoy Hendrix as a main character, probably the most out of the whole Skyland series, because I've definitely been the most intrigued about her, and so far I'm really enjoying her story. Tonight I am going to a Brewers game with my boyfriend, which I'm very excited about, but I have to drive up there, so I have a kind of a long car ride, so I'm gonna try and listen to a good chunk of this book on my way there and back. I'm hoping to finish it this weekend, so I want to show you guys my Veronica Speedwell spread, and then I will update you guys with my final thoughts on Can't Get Enough, and then we'll officially be done with the Skyland series. officially finished. Can't get enough. And I completely just flew by this. I feel like I didn't vlog as much for this one. It's supposedly just because like I read it so fast. I read like 150 pages last night in like 2 hours, which is really quick for me, and it was just so good. I love the way Kennedy Ryan like story tells with her romances, because I feel like it's so much more than just a romance. The men in her books are just like immaculate, and every single one of them I really do feel like they are loved the way that they deserve to be loved. I feel like Hendrik's story was just so unique to the series, and I feel like really completed the whole book for me, and like I just got like such a well-rounded full circle moment with all of the characters within her story. I'm so happy that she got the love that she deserves, and as I said before, I loved the theme of friendships and other types of love outside of romantic love and other than love for your children that was present in this book, because there can be so much love around you at all the time, and it doesn't need to be romantic. And that's kind of like, it reminds me of one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Love Actually. This is purely a love story because there is love everywhere in her life, not just the romantic connection, and it really hones in and focuses on that, and I really love that about this book. Also, one unique thing to this book is the kind of forbidden aspect of it that was present was not fully like resolved at the end. It wasn't all just like kumbaya, like we're all friends, you know, whatever. And I like that because it doesn't have to be. They can be together and they don't need the approval of everyone else, and I really liked how like it didn't make us seem like it had to be. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm really happy that Hendrix got her happy ending. I loved her character. She might be my favorite of all three of the women. All three of them also are immaculate. Like I was talking about like the men being great, all three of the women in this friend group is so strong in their own way. Like it's insane like how smart, determined, like the strength of these women is so strong. That they found each other just like makes me happy, and I love them. And I'm kind of sad that the series is over. I absolutely loved it. I'm definitely going to have to read her other series. I think she has a sports romance series, which I would love to get my hands on. I think I always avoided it because I didn't like the old covers of it, but now they have new covers, so I might have to buy that. But I feel like this was a really great finisher to the series. I also really loved how it portrayed being a caretaker for an aging parent. Her mom has Alzheimer's disease, and I feel like it was a really great representation of the struggles and what it's like to be a caretaker for your parent. And she is an only child. I feel like I really resonated with that because I know as an only child, like one day it's going to be my responsibility to care for my parents. I feel like I could absolutely like understand her struggles of feeling like she was kind of by herself and didn't have anyone to help her. And I really loved how Maverick made her feel supported and like listen to her. Like he didn't just ask because like, oh, how's your mom doing, because that's like the polite thing to do. Like he genuinely cared and wanted to know what he could do to help, and he went out of his way to help her in ways that she didn't even know she needed. How strong she is. She didn't need it, but it was just, it's so nice to have, you know. I really liked how he was there for her in so many different ways. I just really love them as a couple, and I feel like they're great. Hi, Hummun. I don't know if this is a complete 5-star for me. I feel like I've been very like willy-nilly with the 5 stars lately. Like I wanted to give Dragon Republic 5 stars, and now I want to give this 5 stars. Like truly, I am so bad about it. She's stumbling around. Hi, baby. So I'm trying to be a little bit more picky with my 5 stars, even though my inclination is to always give 5 stars. So I'm gonna sit on it. Oh, okay. She's climbing my back. I think the Dragon Republic, I am gonna sit at a 4.5 for that one, because as much as I loved the ending of it, I think the beginning I'm just gonna dock some point, like just a half point off. I did have a couple pacing problems with the beginning of the Dragon Republic, so I think that I'm pretty confident sitting at a 4.5, but like the ending just made up for everything. It was like the second half of the book was just so phenomenal. And with this, I want to give it, I don't know, it's between a 4 and a 4.5. I don't think it's a 5-star. The first one in the series is still my favorite. Like nothing made me, like I cried in the first one, and I don't cry in books, and I don't think anything has made me feel like that in a romance like ever. But the other two are still phenomenal. I would absolutely recommend the Skyland series. If you want a romance that it makes you feel all the things, it's not an easy path getting there, like, and with a bit of like women's fiction, personal growth, and strong friendships, I absolutely recommend this series. It's phenomenal. But yeah, I'm very, very happy I did this video. I just am very proud of myself for getting a couple of series completed. So I definitely need to do something like this again to focus on finishing some series. But that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If there are any other types of reading vlogs that you would like to see from me, please comment them down below. And if you like me or my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you to everyone who already is subscribed. I very much appreciate it. Also, if you are interested, my other socials are linked in the description below. If you want to follow me on Goodreads or Instagram or TikTok, I post on all 3 of those platforms. So check that out if you are interested. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I hope you guys have such a fabulous week, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!